Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to make a tile. I don't really know what to do here, so let's just start with relaxing in our shoulders, our hands and wrists, and just be grateful for the day today. Take a deep breath and just relax. Yes. So this is a tile that we colored in a long time ago, and it has just been waiting on me to do something on it, so I'm gonna do that. I will see if I can link for the video where I colored in these tiles in the info box below so you can find it. I am going to start with my corner dots, corner dots. And then I am connecting those together like that. And then normally we are going to make a string line. I could do one because I want something here along this pink color. But I'm not gonna do a lot of them because I want to start with this pattern. What's the name of it? I'm just looking for it here on my iPad so I do it right. And today I am going to start with this one, and I want to be able to do that without restrictions from any string lines. So I am starting with my Micron 01 for this one. And I'm actually thinking I'm gonna take this piece here. We have like a circle right here. So I'm going to make my mid circle right here. And then we're gonna go out and make 5 circles around that circle, and I am going a tiny bit over my string line here, and that's perfectly fine like that. And then I'm gonna make that S shape starting from that top orb and ending on the big orb here in the middle. So I am making that tethered S shape, turning my tile and do it one more time, and I'm gonna do that all the way around here so that I have done it on all 5 of these orbs. So that was the first step. Then we are gonna go in here between these two and a tad bit down, placing an orb right there as well in all 5 places. Like that. And then I'm gonna tether that orb together with the big orb, again with this S curved line. And then we're going to make the S curve from the big one to the small one here. So following that line and going down here again, the same S curve, doing it again here, turning it around, doing it again, all the way around. Just like that. And then I'm gonna do it again, but I'm giving it a little more shape this time. And that is the pattern itself. So now we can decorate it just like we feel like. They actually made some lines in here. I think I'm just gonna make one tiny line in the center of this top piece here. And what I am doing in one of them, I am doing in all of them. And here I'm gonna start here and going out to that line, and then I'm kind of anchoring it with a black triangular shape here. I'm gonna do that until I don't have any more room for that. And again, what I'm doing in one, I am doing in all of them. So I want to say that when I am doing these tangling sessions where we are drawing on a tile, or we made the heart pieces and we made the tiles for the coasters and stuff like that, I kind of never make a trial tangle before I start. I like to get the whole process of what I'm doing and what I'm thinking, creating a tile in the video, so that you see that it's not something that I have been planning ahead when I am drawing my tiles. I just sit down and I look at my paper and I find a tangle or two that I like, and I'm using that on my tile and then just going ahead. And I normally do that when I am tangling anyway. Yeah. So I am not making a tangle before making this one for you guys. So that was this one. I actually think it's pretty cool. It's a nice tangle. We could put some mucus and something in there, but you know me, I like to keep it with the tangles that we used on the page that we just did. But let me put in some of these, I forgot the name of these, but I really like these and I think they fit really well into this pattern. Fescues, that's the name of them. It's a nice tangle to put in here and there if you need a little more interest around a tangle or two. And it is, as you see, really simple. That is pretty. I like that. Okay, so that was this pattern. I wanted this pattern here as well in this one, so I'm thinking of doing that here where I made my string line, and I'm just gonna make it here instead of my string line. So I'm just gonna do it like that, and then we're going to aura that line that we just did. And when I'm placing a tangle on my tile or my page or paper or whatever I'm using to make my tangles on that day, then I am just placing them where I think they will fit really well. and then I take my time from there. I made as many of these as I could. Of course, if you have a bigger page or a paper or tile or whatever, you just continue. I'm gonna make the little heart here around the middle of this bigger bubble. That would be around here. And actually I should have one around there. Then I'm gonna turn my tile around. And I think I should have one more here. Going that way, like that. And like that. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna take this off because that is kind of annoying, because this paper have kind of a little texture to it. So my glove is not gliding over it as I want it to. And I'm gonna color in all these small intricacies that are left behind here between the hearts. Giving it a little more drama. And we really want some drama on these tiles. It's a great idea to have a little of each on your tile, so a little drama, a little fine lines, tangles, and bigger and smaller tangles. So it's a good idea to have a tiny bit of each on your done tile, because that makes it a little more interesting to look at. And I'm just taking my time with coloring in, doing one stroke at the time, relaxing in my shoulders, my hands, my fingers. I don't want to choke my pen. So I loosen up the grip here and there when I am gripping it too hard. Oh, and remember to breathe. We need that. There we go. I like that. So that was this tangle here. Let's find another one. I really like this one. So let's try to pop that in here as well. Boom, boom, boom. Let's find a place for it. We are starting with a orb, and then we are doing this little line with the blob on, and then a leaf around that one. And we should be able to have around 5 of these around this little orb that we made. Or just make 4, that is perfect as well. Even 6 would be nice, so don't worry if you don't get them like you want to. I actually didn't find any colors today, so I think this one will be kind of black and white with this beautiful colored background. I'm gonna make a tethered aura here of these petals. And I'm gonna do it, of course, on all my petals. I like that. And I'm thinking of making some nice small lines here in this outer petal thingy. I'm just kind of following the curves of the petals here with my lines. Just taking my time. There we go. Actually, I think I'm gonna color in the center orb here. Again, to give it a little more color, oomph. Let me see. I can put one around this one. Oh, I almost did wrong there. And of course I am going behind when I reach another pattern. Now I did it again. I need my tile to turn this way when I do this one. Up and around, behind that one, and this one is gonna get 4 of these petals. And that's just perfect. And I'm gonna make the tethered aura around the petals. And again, I'm gonna make these lines here and remembering to draw behind. And by now it has this kind of ugly state what I'm doing here, where I'm thinking this is not gonna be great, but please don't worry about that right now. Just do your tiles, your tangles on your tiles, and then we will judge it when we're all done with it. Let me find another pattern. But the one we just did was this one. I think we are going to continue with these standalone tangles. We're gonna continue with the standalone tangles, and I'm gonna take this one because I kind of like it. And I was actually thinking of kind of maybe doing it in this corner. So starting with that little kind of a half heart shape that is going to grow bigger and bigger for each around here, and I'm just gonna make as if it is going outside my lines here. Like that, coming back in over the part we already did. And of course we're going behind when we reached another tangle. Kind of starting on the middle point for each new of these petal shapes. And I'm gonna stop there. I could actually take a round more. I'm not sure that would look that great. So it would come up somewhere here and here, because you kind of can continue making them bigger and bigger, but you can also try to go back down into small, so that it kind of go back into itself here. So I'm gonna do that. I think that's pretty cool. I could go in and color in like I did in the book, but I'm not gonna do that, or am I? I don't know right now. I think I might do every second of these, kind of making a tethered aura of that shape there, and then just color that in. It's like my Microns, they really hate this paper. Oh, that would actually be coming in around there, so I would have it like this. Just every second. Just taking my time with this, relaxing in my hands, remembering to breathe. And if you need to take a break, then you just pause the video, take your break, and you can come back when you're ready. And then every second out here. There we go. I actually think that's cool. Okay, so that was this pattern right here. I don't know if I want any more on this tile. I could do a border tangle of some kind in around here. I think I will. So I'm gonna do this one. It could be coming like that. So let me make my first line here, and then we're gonna aura the line. And then it is a ribbon or a border, so I am going to make a line with an aura down here. Then I'm gonna make these, it's hard to see here, lines that go not from top to bottom, but kind of in the middle, like that. And then we are gonna make a little mark here around the middle between these. And then make a line from the mark to the line we have there in the center. And I did this totally wrong. Sorry about that. There are no mistakes, so we will continue. It was supposed to be every second of those that should have that little triangular top on there. So skip one, make one, skip one, make one, because then you would have this kind of tower system thingy going on. And then we're gonna go in and aura the shape here. And second aura is a triangular shape with a line up. So auraing the triangular shape and the line up, and so on. And then you're supposed to turn around and do the same over here, but I just did this one a bit different, so I'm gonna go in here and aura that one. The shape we have here. And I could go in and make a triangular shape right here at the bottom. So don't worry, there are no mistakes. There are just new ways of doing things and possibilities. And if you just keep your cool and tangle on, you might find a new interesting pattern. This one is a tangulation of the original, because it's not so different that it is a new tangle, but it is definitely a tangulation of the original one. I'm just gonna go in here with a few lines to make it a little more interesting to watch or look at. And what I do in one of these, I am of course doing in all of these. There we go. I kind of like it. Didn't turn out like I wanted it to, but I really do like it. I'm gonna go for my white jelly roll. This is the 08, and I am gonna make sure it is working before I start. So I'm gonna take this big orb here and color that in first. And I think I'm taking the big orbs here. Let's do all of them. And remember that the jelly roll will stay wet a little longer than the Micron, so don't place your hand in it straight away. I like that. And I think I'm gonna make a dot here in the flowers. And I was thinking of making that line just with the white here, just a white line. Kind of breaking up the colors a tiny bit. Let's see, we have it right there, so that must be here. I need my white line, and here. And then here. Here. Up here. Just keeping it a tiny little white line. Here I am going to make a dot or an orb, and then I'm gonna make kind of a triangular shape from that and down. So the orb and this line that is kind of triangular. Right here as well. And I'm gonna turn my tile around, and I'm gonna do the same in these hearts, turning the other way around. You would only see a tiny line there. Here you would see the dot, nothing there, nothing here. So I'm gonna leave that. I wanted to do something in these flowers, so maybe a white line here on the inside. I will have to go back to my black Micron because I went over my line here. I like that. Let me take my Micron and make that rounded top again. I was thinking of popping in some white here, maybe these bigger triangular places here or shapes, because we made them black on the other side, so let's do them white here. I like that. Should I do something here? I could make a white orb in these pieces right here. I think that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. And I'm just gonna go in and make some of my dots here and there, just to give it a little here in the background. I actually think that turned out pretty neat. Okay, shading. We love shading. So let's start with the graphite. I'm definitely gonna make something here around this one because it's kind of folding on itself. So around the tops here, using my Tortillion for softening out my graphite. So everywhere where it is going over itself, I am making a shadow. Like that. And then where it is overlapping another pattern, I am gonna give it some more shading. This background here, the coloring on the background, it's not that dark, but it is kind of feeling too dark for my tangling. I don't know why that is, but oh well. So everywhere where I have a tangle that is going over another tangle, I am making a tiny shadow indicating that there is something on top. So here around this petal as well. And down here, because this one is going over there. Okay, let's see, the hearts. I think I'm gonna go in, let me turn that around for a second. I'm going in here on the side where I don't have the white highlight. And I am putting in a tiny bit of shading on that side, again using my Tortillion to soften that out. Turning my tile and doing the same here on the other hearts. The side where I don't have the little white shine, I am going to make some shading on. And I'm taking my time with all of this, and I'm just looking at my tile here and there to see what I like to do. Here I just want to make some shading around the center of this starry, flowery thingy. Maybe here on the inside. And I'm going to do that on the little one as well. And here I'm going to go in with a line of shading. And I'm going to do the same over here. And I'm going to do it carefully on this side because of the white jelly roll. But I'm going to do it. There we go. I'm going to change up and find my white charcoal. And on this one, I'm just going to make a line down the middle. That is the nice thing about this paper. It is going to take the white charcoal really nicely. I'm going to pop a little here underneath that string line for the ribbon, or the ribbon itself. And again, I'm using my white charcoal and my Tortillion for the white charcoal to make it into a shadow here. Doing it again on this side. Oh, that's noisy. I think that looks nice. And here on this one, I'm gonna make a white, kind of a white line here, indicating the spiral going on in this pattern. And that is coming in here as well. Let's do a tiny bit here. And then I'm going to use my Tortillion again to soften that out. that actually looks pretty neat. Maybe a tiny bit more of the white here with the white highlights. Making it a little more light on that side. Again, using my Tortillion. Highlighting the highlight a tiny bit more. You almost can't see that, but it's there. And I'm thinking that I'm kind of done right now, but you can always keep working on your tile as long as you feel like. Yeah, sometimes I just have these intrusive thoughts that put a little more of the white here or there, and sometimes I just follow that. I actually think I like this really much. I am just gonna go back with my graphite here and just put a tiny bit of a shading around this pattern here. Softening that out. I don't want it to be too thick, so I'm just making small circle movements here. And I was thinking of kind of pillowing out this space here where I have these tangles that is kind of ending here on the sides. And then here. And then I'm just gonna take my Tortillion and soften that out. Again, I don't want to drag it that much out, so I'm just kind of making, well, that is big circle motions that I'm doing here, but I'm trying to keep it small. I think that looks pretty neat. That's great. Yeah, one more. Let's go with the white here on the edge. Just making a thin line. Outside of the shading that we just did. Just making a thin line. And even though that you don't see me do it on all my work, I am giving everything I'm making a layer of fixative so that I fix everything on my tile, because I don't want it to fade away or be dusted off, because that white line could be taken off with a finger if you want to, and I don't want that. So I am giving that a spray with my fixative when I'm done here, and I'm just gonna make my little tack in my corner, and just like that. And that's it for today. That's the tile we did. I think this came out pretty neat. I hope you liked it as well. So all I have to say is thank you for watching, and have an attitude of gratitude.